Brian, public input?
We have one this evening, 3 to 11.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I just have a question in regards to the article that was in the Niagara Wheatfield Tribune regarding the Barge Brewing Burkholt location. I live in Burkholt, and I've lived there for 16 years on Niagara Road, and I'm just hoping to get some more answers to this, like where do they plan to put this brewing company?
You know, let me, first of all, I don't know if they've come to the planning board yet. Nothing at the planning board. I heard through our economic development, they were looking at coming into Wheatfield. I don't think anything has been cast in stone. Mike, can you help the building department? Anybody come into you?
Yeah, I've had an email.
I don't know, maybe I was the first person to hear about this, I don't know, but I had a gentleman email me about it, and I sent it right away to our local development corporation. Bill Wagner's our director of the LDC for Wheatfield, and Bill Wagner's now in touch with this person. I think they're looking at the meeting place, which is right across the street from Burkholt Fire. That's all I know. I had an email. I forwarded it to the person that probably should have taken the ball and run with it, and as far as I know, Bill Wagner is working that now.
And I would suggest, and again, because it's so premature, it may not even happen. I think a lot of this is it could be, it may be, and
Right.
I would say if anybody to maybe contact would be our building inspector, because if they came to anyone first, it would probably be Mike. And Mike, if you would get this young lady's phone number, if something does come in, maybe call you.
That would be
again,
great.
It's very premature. There's been nothing cast in stone. A lot of this is just hearsay.
So before anything would be cast in stone, would there be like a public hearing so
Well,
we could speak about
I don't know if it'd be public
it?
hearing if in fact that it complies with zoning regulations over there. And again, you know, a lot of this is hearsay, but it's probably commercial. I don't have a zoning map in front of me, but if it is commercial, it's possible they wouldn't need that. They still would have to go through site plan review because it's gone through a change in use. Parking would be a consideration, noise, things like that.
Right, and traffic, which Niagara
And
Road is
traffic,
already
yeah, it's
busy.
Would all be part of the planning board site plan review process. So, I mean, again, our engineer's sitting here, and they haven't even come to the planning board yet either. So, again, there's really nothing to report to you.
Okay.
Maybe that's good in the sense that it's early on.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So they
So-
just got us a little stirred up here with
Yeah,
putting it in
well,
the paper.
Yeah, and that happens a lot though. You'll see something and it's coming, and there's a lot of things we wish would come and they don't come. So, but I would say if you talk with Mike, give him your phone number, and if something should come in, he can call you and let you know.
Okay, great.
And
Thank
also
you.
we can make you aware when it comes to the planning board for site plan review.
Okay.
And you can talk about parking, you can talk about noise, all those things are addressed at that level.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, John, one more thing. On our town website, there is an alert system or a notification. You can sign up for alerts and notifications. So if you want to know about planning board meetings or zoning board meetings, you can sign up for those alerts. And every time a new meeting agenda or something comes out, I think you get notified of those.
Thank you. I'll do that. I
Okay.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. For the record, all board members are present. Approval of the April 1st, 2019 minutes, please.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Minutes are approved. Bill payment of April 15th, 2019. Voucher number 201-904-467 through 201-905-574. Total amount $682,499.05. Can I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Second on the question. I want to hold one voucher so I can find out a little bit more about it. It's voucher number 2019-0519. I'll give it to the town clerk.
Okay, we have one voucher held. Approval of the bill payment, please. Have you had a motion and a second? Did you get a second?
Yes.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Can't be effective then, yeah.
Departments, Paul Sigmund.
Just a few things. One is the 284 agreement from last meeting. That has to be signed by the board, me, and then it has to be sent to the county, their signature. I forgot to tell you guys that. Just a reminder. I have one, yeah. I can probably give it to you.
Tonight with you?
I gotta look in my folder, but I might have one in there. The other thing is brush and leaves. We are picking up brush. We've caught a couple people hauling brush into town, dumping it in somebody's front yard. We aren't picking it up. You got a relative, don't tell them to bring the brush to Wheatfield, because if it ain't from a tree in Wheatfield, we don't want it. We got enough brush of our own to pick up. Leaves, I understand that the leaves fell late last year. Bag them, put them to your garbage. If you don't want to put them in the garbage, you can bring them to the highway garage and dump them off. Our leaf machines get cleaned out at the end of leaf season. They have to. That stuff's acidic. It would eat them right away. I don't have the manpower to bring the leaf things back out, run them for another 2 or 3 weeks, along with the chipping that's going on and everything else this time of the year. So if you have leaves and you don't want to put them in the garbage, you can bring them over to the highway garage. We'll show you where to dump them in the pile. But the leaf won't be going back out until the fall. That's it.
Thanks, Paul.
Any questions?
Anybody have anything for Paul? Thank you, Paul. Water Sewer, Rich Donner. How you doing tonight, Rich? Doing okay.
All right. Somebody decided that one of our hydrants wasn't in a good location the other night and took it out on Ward Road along with the telephone pole and a few mailboxes. So we do have that back in service, dug it up and fixed it. I'll be sending a bill out to the insurance company on that, so I'm sure they'll be happy with it.
Did you relocate the hydrant to somewhere they would like it?
We put it right back in the same spot. It's been there for a long time. It's actually been hit one other time, so. But it's back in service, up and running. Little update on our camera system that we purchased. Had it out the other day on Ozark Road, trying to find a couple of sewer runs, a couple clean-outs that were out there, and the camera is working just the way it's supposed to. So
great.
If anybody ever wants to check it out, it's over at the shop, and it's a little bit of work to change it from different pipe sizes, but it definitely does the job it was intended to do. We got a little bit of work to do over behind the mall to find a couple areas of infiltration that are making one of the pump stations run quite heavy, so we're in the process of getting after that.
Great.
That's all I have.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it. Anybody have anything for Rich?
Rich, I got a question. I didn't realize on the bills that I asked Don, we got to pay for after-hour locates by 811?
Yes. If they have to call them out for after hours, yes, there is a charge on that.
I never realized that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a ton of them that we get, but weekends and stuff when we're not at work, they have to manually call out to us, and either myself or Mark, my deputy, gets a call on them. So.
Thanks, Rich.
Okay.
Mike Rinaldi, Recreation Director.
Not a whole lot going on. We're kind of in a transitional period from registrations to the seasons. So last week we held meetings with all our coaches. We went over and did our player drafts, per se. So rosters are full, compiled. So today I started writing schedules. So I kind of coordinate the baseball and softball with the rest of the directors in the county. So I'm still waiting for a couple of towns to tell me how many teams they're going to have, and then everybody has got a blackout date where they can't handle, like Town Niagara can't do it on Mondays at their park. So we'll go through, we'll write our schedules, we'll get them spit out, so hopefully parents can start planning their summers. Need the weather to break. I need a couple of dry, windy days, try the park out. We were actually on the fields on Friday, had a couple of diamonds turned over, and then it started raining on us, and then we got the rains yesterday, so it set us back a little bit, but we got things to tighten up to get ready, and that's about it.
Did you end up getting coaches for all your teams?
I did. Actually, I had a couple of like high school volunteers that needed volunteer hours that are going to step up and coach teams for us, so that was really great.
Thanks for putting together the Easter party.
Oh, thanks for coming. That was a good time. Thank you.
Anybody have anything for Mike? Thank you, Mike. Mike Clark, building inspector.
Good evening.
Hi, Mike.
First off, got to tell you Bridget's not going to be here, so she says no report. And I guess I'm going to repeat that too. I have nothing unless the board has anything for me tonight.
Anybody even for Mike? Thank you, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
Just so you know, that Bridget is helping, Mary Beth's mother passed away, and Bridget's helping out with that, so that's why she's not here tonight. Constables. Brian.
Yeah, not much new this month, but just a repeat from last month and last few meetings, about one more month of the burn ban is still in effect. So no burning of brush until May 14th. There's been a few big fires in the county, some big fields out the other end of the county, and then town of Niagara had one of the sky lanterns fall on a roof and it started a fire, and one of their members, town of Niagara Fire, they actually caught it and was able to put it out. But on that note, sky lanterns are banned in New York State. There is a stipulation that you can use a sky lantern, but it's got to be tethered or anchored. But I don't think anybody's going to attach a string to it. But New York State is one of the states that has outlawed the sky lantern. Also next month, I think May 18th, constables will be going to gun range every year for our annual firearms qualification to requalify. So just got some training coming up, and patrols will be out. Not much besides that.
Thank you, Brian. Anybody have anything for Brian? Seniors, Arlene Manti. Didn't ask about the age of the supervisor by any means, did we? Let's hope not. When is that, Arlene? Okay. Eating and drinking. That sounds like something the town board does. That's it, Arlene? Thank you very much. Wendell Engineers, Tim Zuber. Tim, while I'm thinking about it, what's the status of the Whitmer Road subdivision?
Whitmer Road subdivision, we're working on the final plat
Okay.
right now.
So what time period?
Well, we just have to work out a few details. I have some questions to ask you after the meeting tonight.
Okay, great.
Hopefully sometime in April, right? We should be able to get it back to the planning board in May and finalize it all.
Appreciate it.
It'd be final plat, correct.
Thanks.
Our agenda tonight, we only have one thing on it. It's our planning board report. Planning board has been a little bit slow off to start this first part of the year. We had our meeting on March 20, and there were two agenda items, and they were really both the same people there. The first one was a site plan for what they're calling the Horizon Village Building Addition, and the applicant is proposing to construct a single-story 1,300 square foot addition that will actually formally connect the existing Aurora Village building and Delta Village building. Those are the two buildings that they just most recently built on Indicon Drive. The addition will allow a continuous interior path between the two buildings and will provide 4 staff offices and a family group meeting area. Impacts to the existing sites are minimal, and existing storm pipe will be replaced with appropriate material to pass through the addition foundation walls and beneath the floor. The applicant combined the 2 parcels, so there will not be a one structure crossing a lot line. The planning board determined that this is a type 2 action under seeker and no further environmental review is warranted. The planning board subsequently approved the site plan with noted conditions. The next item was a sketch plan, also with Horizon Village, and it's for a family training center right across the street, just to the north of where their first facility was that they built there. They're proposing to construct a 8,430 square foot family center building at 6301 Indicon Drive. The building will include 2 offices, a reception area, a small children's room, 3 meeting rooms, and a 200-seat auditorium. The facility will function as a place to provide education and therapy for families of residents undergoing treatment and as a training location for Horizon Health Services staff. The project will relocate an existing playground, reconfigure some existing parking, and expand new parking onto the adjacent property to the north, which was recently acquired by Horizon Health Services. The applicant was advised of several items to include an address on their formal site plan submittal, including stormwater management, easements from Niagara County for access, threatened endangered species, and coordination with the FAA, NFTA, and Airbase, as that is in the airport protection area. No other action was taken. The second meeting to go through was the April 3rd meeting, but there were no applicants on the agenda, so the work session was canceled. The planning board did get together for the normal meeting just to go through some planning board items, such as they've been working on town parking requirements. And that's it. Any other questions?
Anybody have anything for Tim? Thank you, Tim.
Welcome.
Motions. Matt Brooks.
First motion is from our budget director. I will just read the introduction. Be it resolved that this town board does hereby approve the 2018 year-end budget transfers in order to balance out appropriation and expense accounts at year-end, and then the rest of the transfers are as listed in the motion package.
I'll make the motion.
Second. The motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the town board is a negative declaration resolution, small cell telecommunications facilities law. Whereas the code of the town of Wheatfield contains and specifies the local laws and ordinances of the town of Wheatfield, and whereas the town of Wheatfield has observed an increase in discussions and potential applications for new telecommunication facilities, micro cells, within the region, and currently the town of Wheatfield has regulations that do not address the changing technology related to these facilities. And whereas the town has drafted a new small cell telecommunications facilities law, Article XVIA, and that draft has been presented to the town board, and whereas a public hearing was held regarding this code amendment on April 1st, 2019, and comments were received, and whereas pursuant to municipal home rule, the town board is proposing to adopt these revisions by enacting text amendments to the code of the town of Wheatfield. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved as follows, that the Wheatfield Town Board, in accordance with the State Environmental Quality Review Act, has determined that the proposed amendments to the town code of the town of Wheatfield, specifically adding a new small cell telecommunications facilities article, will not adversely affect the natural resources of the state and or the health, safety, and welfare of the public, and is consistent with the social and economic considerations, and therefore issues the attached seeker negative declaration in accordance with Section 617.7 of the seeker regulations, and be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign the environmental assessment form, which will act as the negative declaration.
A motion, please.
So moved.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion, again by the town board, whereas the code of the town of Wheatfield contains and specifies local laws and ordinances of the town of Wheatfield, and whereas the town of Wheatfield has observed an increase in discussions and potential applications for new telecommunication facilities, microcells within the region, and currently the town of Wheatfield has regulations that do not address the changing technology related to these facilities, and whereas the town has drafted a new small cell telecommunications facilities law, Article XVIA, and that draft law has been presented to the town board, and whereas a public hearing was held regarding this code amendment on April 1st, 2019, and comments were received, and whereas these code amendments were referred to the Niagara County Planning Board in accordance with New York State General Municipal Law 239 and have received a favorable recommendation, and whereas based on comments received, the town has revised the proposed law amendment in response to the comments, and whereas the Wheatfield Town Board, acting as seeker lead agency, has issued a seeker negative declaration, and whereas pursuant to municipal home rule law, the town board is proposing to enact a local law as follows, and that is as the law that was drafted and presented, with one change, which I believe I've distributed the change, which I'll just read the change and not the entire law. The change of language of section 200-EEE, capital H, of proposed article, a small cell telecommunications facilities, and that section H would be amended as follows. The application fee in accordance with and as described in the town schedule of fees shall be included with the application. And back, okay, and then back with the motion, be it enacted by the town board of the town of Wheatfield, and that the Wheatfield Town Board amends the code of the Wheatfield by adding a new article to the zoning code, Article XVIA, small cell telecommunication facilities, as illustrated in the attached copy, and as I say, with that one amendment I just read. Now therefore be it resolved that the Wheatfield Town Board amends the code of the town of Wheatfield, Chapter 200, entitled Zoning, to provide for the revision of the town code as referenced above.
So moved. I'll make that motion.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the Recreation Department. Motion, excuse me, to hire Olivia Tober, Maddie Waters, Tess Walters, Riley Muldoon, Maria Burgi, Kelsey Lakowski, Lisa Finn, Nicole Golden, Lindsay Kankar, and Christopher Dyer as seasonal help summer camp staff for the Recreation Department at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to job specifications of the Recreation Department, seasonal help, and pending human resources and a Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved. Second. Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion to authorize and approve Wheatfield Town Supervisor Don McSwan to execute on behalf of the town of Wheatfield the Energy Service Program authorization to proceed forward with the turnkey streetlight project, LED street lighting, with the New York Power Authority. Said authorization will allow the New York Power Authority to proceed with the full turnkey solution of the LED street lighting project, which includes final design report, the conducting of bids for materials and installation labor, the provisions of construction management, and the commission of the final project. And I guess let me note, I think the budget director indicated we are still awaiting the time for the permissive referendum on this. So, and I had also mentioned we are still awaiting our purchase and sale agreement. So, although I did read this, I thought we were considering perhaps tabling this until we get those things in.
I think we have to, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, it probably is a good idea until we have the final talk.
I don't even think we have to put it to a motion and do it.
Yeah, we'll just hang on to it then. All right, moving on. Next motion from the town board to approve and authorize modification of the pay grade for the Water and Sewer Department Superintendent on the department head wage table from the current grade F to grade I, effective April 15, 2019.
So moved. Motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, then we had a couple supplemental motions. The first one being from the town board, motion to approve and authorize change of pay grade for chief constable position to grade 6 from grade 4 on the part-time wage table effective April 15th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from the town board, motion to approve and authorize change of pay grade for all constable positions except chief constable to grade 5 from grade 4 on the part-time wage table effective April 15th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carried.
Okay, and I think we have one more supplemental motion from the town clerk. Effective immediately, all backup for the town bill pay vouchers to include invoices, purchase orders, packing slips, etc., must be scanned and attached to the voucher in the KVS Enterprise program by the person entering the voucher into the program. In addition, the town will take an inventory of various records and begin to scan any eligible records using the New York State Records Retention and Disposition Schedule, MI-1. All departments will be required to follow the MI-1 schedule.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. You know, I had one other thing that I wanted to do tonight, and I had talked to our head constable before the meeting. As you know, we had one constable resign, and we have the potential of having up to 12 constables, and we're having a difficult time filling the daytime slots because most of the constables have full-time jobs. So I'd like to propose a resolution to advertise for the position of 3 constables, 1 replacement, and 2 new constables in accordance with civil service regulations and stipulations. Have a motion?
Second.
Motion to second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Did you want to do that motion tonight on the the war memorial there, or not? The town content?
Oh, yeah, you wanna read it?
Well, I didn't make one up, but,
I know we were talking about, you gonna do this tonight?
You can. I don't think I know what the text of the
well,
resolution will be.
essentially what we're trying to do is we have a group restoring a helicopter, and we also have some people involved with the war memorial. So what we're trying to do is, and we've had suggestions that Tom contact, and he's willing to accept the job. Instead of having 2 different organizations and groups working on war memorial, let me finish this and we'll talk about behind the town hall here. That have one person oversee, call it the 2 committees, but essentially we're trying to make it one. So the helicopter group, the helicopter restoration group, which is basically made up of Vietnam veterans, and the war memorial group work together. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Tom Contact as the lead person for both groups.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We'll fix it next time. Okay, good. Larry Helwig.
We got an email from Wendell that the GIS system going to be down for maintenance starting with Thursday evening. So Good Friday. So Friday, Saturday. Yeah. So, but if any of the highway, sewer, water, if you guys need to use GIS this weekend, it's probably not going to be available. So use your paperwork. The other thing I wanted to mention, last meeting, there was a gentleman in here talking about Verizon Fios off of Shawnee Road. Verizon is offering Fios, but only internet services. There's no television with it, and I don't believe there's any voice with it. But the main thing was he was wanting to know whether they had cable television with Verizon, and they do not. I spent probably 35, 45 minutes going through several phone forwardings with Verizon, trying to get to someone that would talk to me to find out what's going on in Wheatfield with Fios. Are you bringing it to Wheatfield? Competition's healthy. Well, we don't mind if there's more competition if it's going to lower our costs. I think at our last meeting, our town attorney mentioned that the cable franchise agreement, right, Matt, that we have with Spectrum is not exclusive. It doesn't mean that Spectrum's the only provider of cable television in the town of Wheatfield, right?
Correct. The agreement very close to it's a non-exclusive agreement.
So Verizon's gonna be getting back to me on more of this information, but bottom line, the cable television on the telephone poles going down Shawnee Road and whatever other areas that Verizon has Fios internet on, they're not capable of delivering the cable TV television to your house yet. They're in the process of getting that, but it's not available yet. The gentleman that was in here last week was just trying to tell us that they couldn't do it because the town wouldn't allow it, but that wasn't the case when I dug through about a 45-minute phone call with them. The other thing coming up May 4th, Liberty Drive cleanup. We're centering at Frontier Fire. We have 2 Cub Scout packs, 833 out of Adams and 824 out of Sanborn. They're going to be both there. And for the first time in 28 years, I've tried getting businesses to donate back to the Cub Scouts because they're the ones that are actually doing the actual cleanup. There's a business, I'm not going to name the business here tonight because they haven't really done the transaction yet, but you know, the newspapers and that'll probably find out when we have the event. But they're going to donate to the Cub Scout organization. They're going to provide the rubber gloves, all the bags, donuts, grabbers, anything they need for that cleanup. It's only a 2-hour cleanup, but they're going to be putting forth the effort to make sure the Cub Scouts have everything they need and then give them some funding for their organizations going forward. So that should be a good day. I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Gil Dissent. Okay, thanks, Gil. Kurt?
Yeah, we had NIPA here, and we invited all the other towns in Niagara County to come in and learn a little bit more about the aggregation plan for LED streetlights. And it does seem like around 6 Niagara County towns are all but committed at this point. That puts us over 1,500 lights, and there's a lot of hope that some more towns are going to also be jumping on. At this point, the biggest thing that's holding us back is getting a final price, and not only Wheatfield, but a lot of the other towns, for the final buyout from National Grid. But we're pushing to get that on the books here soon, and I do expect that we'll be pretty organized and set to begin work probably in the spring, probably around this time next year. So they're looking good. And everybody appreciated the fact that we had samples set up here on campus. We went out, we kind of walked around and gave everybody a chance to compare the light quality. And then the other update is the task force. So on the 25th of this month, which is not this Thursday, but next Thursday, we're going to be doing an ideation session with the rest of our volunteers to see kind of what types of things do we want to be doing in the future. So anybody that's interested, including the town board, who'd like to come and have a say, please do attend.
What was the date and time?
The 25th of this month. It's going to be at 6:30 at the community center. That's it.
Thank you. Any idea on when they're going to come back with a buyout? Have you talked to them at all or no?
They told me 30 days about 21 days ago. So we should have ours really soon here.
Okay, thank you. Randy Retzloff.
Mike, very good Easter party. It was very good. I had to go buy the shaving cream this morning for coloring eggs. It really was slick. If you didn't see the way they put the food coloring in the shaving cream, and that was pretty nice. And the other thing is that Ag Group is meeting on Monday the 22nd at 7 p.m. And that's all.
Thank you, Randy. I've just got a couple things tonight. If anybody drove in tonight and they saw the stakes, and by the way, Dave, do you have any for us tonight? Okay. Dave Godfrey, County Legislator. But in the back you'll see 3 circles staked out, and it's a kind of a tentative plan for the war memorials. If you look at the large circle in the center would be the main memorial, and to the left is the helicopter location, and to the circle on the right is the tank location. So town board members, anyone else would like to take a look at it and get back to me with your opinions. I was hoping to walk out there tonight, but it's soggy. But it's been downsized a little bit, but, met with Tom Contact and several veterans out here who helped stake it out. And they think it's a wonderful location, and I hope everybody else does too. Also, I did make a trip over to the helicopter restoration. I won't call them group anymore because it's all one, but they're doing a fantastic job. They have done complete electrical wiring to the helicopter, and they have LED lighting throughout the helicopter. They've done repairs on the body, thanks to, I believe it was Tom at Car Shop North. They've done some repairs on it. It's going to be really nice when it's done. I was really impressed. Coffee was cold, but hey. The other thing, just for the board members here, next board meeting at 6:30, Bill Ross's daughter is coming in representing AFLAC, and I would hope that the department heads could each make that meeting. She put on a nice presentation. That might be something you or your employees will be interested in. Okay. And at 6:45, the next meeting, Sanborn Library is going to put on a presentation here as to what they offer municipalities, and of course it's their budget time also. And of course, and then at 7 o'clock we'll have the public hearing for the change in the constable laws, and Roger will be here to make a presentation. That's all I have. Oh, and one other thing, if you haven't ordered your rain barrels, you only got them maybe another week or two, and the rain barrels are, again, high-quality rain barrels, and they'll be picked up right here. You can go on the website, they give you a time to pick them up, and again, they're a high-quality rain barrel and compost bin. So if you haven't ordered them, now's the time. That's all I have, gents. Motion to adjourn? Someone? Oh, I'm sorry. Any other public input? No, Paul. Sit down.
Now, this is a question for Kurt. With these new lights, I know like the first quarter of this year, we called in over 40 lights that were out. Magamore comes out and fixes them. That's all it's done. We don't have to do no more than that. Is there going to be a maintenance plan as part of the agreement? They'll be contracted with what, electrician or something? And
Yeah, it'll work much the same as how it works today, except you're not going to be contacting the grid. You're going to be contacting whoever the vendor is that we work with on the maintenance.
Okay.
In all likelihood, it'll be the same person that is installing. Will have some sort of an agreement, not only us, but all the towns in Niagara County. There will be a bidding process, and I'll probably work together with you to define, what requirements we're looking for, and then they'll be the ones that we contact when whatever happens. Somebody hits a pole, we get a windstorm, regular maintenance, all of that.
is this also going to include the small stand-up lightings in some of the subdivisions?
It will. Yep.
Okay. All right, that's it. Thanks.
Yep.
The other thing too, Paul, of any new subdivisions, I think Tim's aware of this, are instructed to prepare for LED lighting before they come into it. So, get them up front. Anything else, gents? Any other input? Motion to adjourn. A motion and a second. All